out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday, everybody. Every Monday, we are live right here on YouTube, hanging out, talking about what I think is the most important thing in the whole wide world, which, of course, is how many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise. And really talking about everything about Royal Caribbean. But we're going to start off with the most important question. How many days till your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Type your countdown in chat, where, of course, we're also answering your Royal Caribbean cruise questions. Lots to do, holidays around the corner, and hopefully a Royal Caribbean cruise even closer for you. My next Royal Caribbean cruise is December 24th, which looks to be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days away. So I'm almost at single digit dance. By the way, shout out to David Alvarado, who started off our broadcast even before we started broadcasting. David with a nice super chat to start things off. Thank you, David. He wrote, "It's Royal Caribbean time." Indeed, it is. It is time to talk Royal Caribbean. Thank you for joining us here. We're here to answer your Royal Caribbean cruise questions, talk about what's happening in the cruise industry, and everything else in between. I know a lot of folks have holiday cruises coming up and then cruises in early 2022. It's amazing that you remember those cruises you booked for the early part of 22? They're around the corner. So good to see some friends in the house already. Bob Newell is here. Patrick Phillips, hello. I think I saw Tony Diaz checking in right before his bedtime. Haley has our first question of the evening. Have you experienced any of the dance classes on board? My family was interested in attending one of them, but wasn't sure what to expect. I'm not sure if you're referring, Haley, to one of there's flash dance kind of stuff. Like I remember there's been Michael Jackson, like Thriller dance. Thriller night. That dance, you can learn that. It's fun. I mean, it's very low impact, easy going. In fact, I remember I was watching my kids on the carousel when we were in Harmony of the Seas, and there was a class simultaneously happening where one of the activities staff was teaching everybody how to do flash dance. And it's in good fun. So give it a try. Absolutely. Our next question is from Ivano. Is the drink pass worth the cost? It absolutely can be. It's really up to you to drink enough to make it worthwhile, but you're on vacation. It's a different mentality when you're at home. Claudia wants to know. Oops. I clicked on every button except for Claudia's question. Hang on a second. All right, let's try this again. Claudia wants to know, is mask required while on the cruise? Yes, while you're indoors, you will need to wear a mask on board the ship. But in a lot of cases, while outdoors, you don't need to wear a mask. In your stadium, you don't need to wear a mask. But indoors, you're going to need to wear a mask unless you're in certain situations, like when you're in a dining room, when you are in a vaccinated zone. So you really don't wear it all that much. Royal Caribbean estimated about 20% of the time you need to wear a mask while indoors. And that's for vaccinated or not. Doesn't matter what your status is. John Grinchowski, thank you for the super chat, buddy. 26 days till Grand Suite on Symphony. Are they still doing behind-the-scenes tours for suite guests? They've been modifying some of the stuff. I don't think the behind-the-scenes tour is there yet because of COVID, but they have been modifying some of the entertainment and some of the things they give back to the suite guests in there. You'll get a list of what's available once you get on board the ship there. So, let's see. Wendy wants to know, how bad is it to cruise with masks on? Was hoping to be over by April. It's not bad at all. Let me tell you something, Wendy. And you can ask anyone who's been on a cruise already. It's not as bad as you think. It's very different. First of all, you're only wearing your mask indoors in air conditioning. All things are possible with air conditioning. And second of all, like I said earlier, you're wearing your mask about 20% of the time. There's lots of possibilities and ways for you to take your mask off while indoors. It's really not what you think. It's one of those situations where it sounds worse than it is. And I, frankly, would go back in a heartbeat to go on a cruise. In fact, I will. But I think a lot of folks will tell you the exact same thing. Hey, Don and Judy Goldstein are here. Welcome. Thank you for joining us here. Mr. Tony Diaz, what's going on? We got a super chat coming in from Jeff and Raju. Thank you for the super chat. How many hours before check-in need to arrive at port? So you'll get your assigned check-in time via the Royal Caribbean app somewhere around 45 days before your cruise. And then that time you're given is the time you should arrive. I would arrive no earlier than 15 minutes earlier than whatever time you got over there, just to account for, parking and whatnot. So, Dennis Orman has a question. If I sail on a Sunday and do the home test, can I take it at 12:01 on Friday? Yeah. All that matters, Dennis, is that on your result, it says Friday. That's it. That'd be 2 days before your cruise. So absolutely, I would sleep in, and I would do it in the morning if I were you. There's no real reason to do it quite that early, but if you want to, sure. Patricia, when do you think the early 2024 itinerary will be announced available for booking? Probably not until next. Well, some of them may extend into 24. Probably not until the spring, Patricia, I would imagine. So, Andrew's got a very important question. Is ice cream included? It is. Other than the Ben and Jerry's ice cream, there's complimentary ice cream on board the ship, including on the pool decks of every ship. Sharon Stockman with an epic super chat. Woo! Live from on board Oasis of the Seas. Sharon, thank you for the super chat. Getting ready for dinner at Coastal Kitchen. Coastal Kitchen has the best filet. I am so glad you are enjoying your cruise on the Oasis of the Seas. Yes, I am jealous. Enjoy dinner tonight, Sharon. You're going to have an awesome, awesome time. And we've got a back-to-back epic super chat coming in. Woo! Jeff Leonard, what's going on, man? I've been in a while. Good to see you. Well, I'd say good to see you, but I can't see you. But good to have you here, Jeff. Thank you for your generosity. I do appreciate it. Danielle wants to know, sailing with a group of 10 on Symphony in January, where's the best place for sail away? On an Oasis class ship, I think the best place is just simply up on the upper pool deck, which is deck 16. So there's 2 decks to the pool deck, right? The upper deck, you get a little more breeze and more of a view. I'd go up there with a mast bar. There's a number of places you can go over there and kind of hang out. David Alvarado with another super chat. Thank you again, David, first of all, for the super chat earlier. And here's another one. David says, I believe the deluxe beverage package is on sale right now. Yeah, there is a sale going on. Whether or not it actually saves you money on your cruise remains to be seen. But Royal Caribbean did extend its cruise planner sale periodically every 4 to 6 weeks or so. Royal Caribbean runs a cruise planner sale in which they put the add-ons you can purchase for your cruise, like the drink package or Wi-Fi or shore excursions, on sale. But it's not like it's across the board. Like everybody take what price you saw and subtract 10% or something like that. The price of the drink package varies from ship to ship and sailing to sailing. So you need to check back and see if there's any discount for you. But of course, I always tell people this. Remember, don't wait for a sale. Don't say, okay, I'm going to wait for a lower price and then book it. If you want to get a drink package, if you want to get a shore excursion, Wi-Fi, book it now, lock in the price. If there's a better deal today, tomorrow, next week, next month, you can always cancel those pre-cruise purchases for no penalty and then rebook at the new price. But if you, by booking now, you lock in the price, so you guard against the price increase. So there you go. Jason Michael, hello and welcome. T. Higgs wants to know, is Wonder of the Season officially an Oasis Plus class or just Oasis class? No, just Oasis class. They only did the Oasis, the Quantum Plus Ultra class thing on Odyssey, but no, there's no difference there. John says, doing a back-to-back and Explorer Christmas and New Year's, wondering at what capacity will they be sailing? It won't be empty. Royal Caribbean has not said, John, what capacity for any ship will be. You won't know the capacity until you get on board the ship and go to guest relations or somewhere and say, hey, how many people are on board this ship? So there's no way to know in advance. Royal Caribbean is not giving us any updates on that. Wolfie23 says, can you give me more info on how Royal Up works? Basically, as you get closer to your sailing, usually within final payment date range, you'll get an email possibly from Royal Caribbean saying, hey, if you'd like to, you can bid for a stateroom upgrade. That's what Royal Up is. It's the stateroom bidding program. And when you get that email, you have an opportunity to bid on certain categories. That doesn't mean that those rooms are actually available. It's more like, if these rooms are available, how much more would you bid for it? It's a blind bidding. You have no idea what someone else bid for it. But essentially, if those rooms are available later on, Royal can go to that pool and pick out those people and then charge them that. It is binding, and you can't choose your exact room. So if they accept your offer, you're locked in. And there's no telling, by the way, when Royal Up bids will be accepted. They could literally pick it the day before or even the day of the cruise. So keep that in mind. Yeah, and here's some good, I said earlier, we're talking about how bad are masks on there. Wendy was asking, Mike says, Mike Pastor, what's up, Mike? Masks aren't bad at all. Don Goldstein says masks aren't bad at all. So it's really, I would not let wearing a mask stop you from going on a cruise. It's really not what you think it is. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. Maria wants to know, do you think there will be package sales over Christmas? Do you mean there'll be a cruise? Yeah, I think there'll be one more cruise planner sale before the end of the year. Probably right around Christmas week, Maria. But that remains to be seen if that's the case or not. Bill wants to know, are you allowed to do your own research in Alaska, or do you have to book through Royal Caribbean? No, in Alaska, at least in 2021, you could do either or. There was no rule against it one way or another. So you had the choice of either one. Money Love wants to know, am I going to be doing Wonder of the Seas? Indeed, I'm booked on the March 4th and the March 11th sailing of Wonder of the Seas, I will absolutely be on the March 4th sailing. So you bet your bottom dollar I will be there. Michelle Pros is here. Hello, Michelle. It is good to see you. Jose wants to know, I think Royal Caribbean should have playmakers? Oh, do you think like all ships have playmakers? No, I like a little variety in life. Variety is the spice of life. It's nice to have a little different things all around the place. So, Wolfie, I would say it's probably too late now. You're supposed to get an email, or your travel agent get an email. You can also go to the Royal Caribbean's website and check if there's an available option for you. But since you're cruising on Sunday, probably too late, I would imagine. Rich O from MEI Travel. Hello, Rich. It is good to see you. Welcome. We have a super chat coming in from Mr. Jason Ankelis. Jason, of course, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, everybody, for your generosity with the super chat. Super chats are not required. It's very nice that you guys want to do that to show your support. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jason writes, it's almost criminal to have to actually wait for my next cruise. Too many days till freedom, even longer till brilliance. You know what? You're not wrong on that. It does feel a little, it's like, oh, how many days? State Nate wants to know, are the kids programs club still going? Absolutely. They've been going since Royal Caribbean resumed cruises this past summer. So, yep. Troy wants to know, leaving 49 days to order my COVID test from Royal Caribbean, how long with it to come in? When I buy it I did not buy it through Royal Caribbean, sells it through Optum. They're just white labeling it. Emeds, when I buy through emed.com, their overnight shipping took a couple days for it to actually get moving, but it was an overnight shipping when I got it. I imagine Optum's got to be the same thing. So I'd imagine you'd be getting it pretty soon thereafter. Our next question, first of all, we got Alan checking in from Serenade of the Seas. Hello, Alan. It's good to see some friends checking in from on board a ship. Love hearing that. Kathleen says, going on Harmony December 26th. It's my birthday. And CVS is closed on December 24th. Walgreens says it's open, but results can take 24 hours. Then we done rapid tests at Walgreens. I've certainly heard of plenty of people who've done the rapid test at Walgreens, Kathleen. You know, it is not too late to get the at-home test that Royal Caribbean takes. The at-home test is available 24/7 over holidays. Does not matter. So if you're worried about it, you could definitely do that. And you could still order it. As I mentioned, if you go to emed.com, Kathleen, you'll get it by later this week. So just something to keep in mind if you're truly worried about it. But Walgreens is pretty good. I mean, CVS and Walgreens have usually been pretty good with their stuff. I think having just the at-home test as a backup, just in case, wouldn't be a terrible idea. I'd hate for you to put your entire cruise vacation in jeopardy because you didn't want to spend a little bit of money for this at-home test, which I know they're eventually going to be reimbursable under insurance. I know that's something that the U.S. government mentioned they're going to be doing. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't want to pretend you're going to get your money back or anything like that right now, but it might be something to consider. That's certainly what we're doing. We're going on Navigator of the Seas December 24th. We're flying to California. I am not in the mood to, once I get to California, flying across the country, to go find a COVID test. So we're bringing the at-home tests. We're going to take them when we get to California. That's it. All done. Easy peasy. Shannon checking in. Hello, Shannon. Any word on the canned water? Does it taste as bad as that horrible stuff they gave us on Harmony back in November? First of all, shout out to Shannon. A lot of fun on board, getting to know folks. What I love about Royal Caribbean group cruises is we get, assuming this is the same Shannon, the great thing about Royal Caribbean blog group cruises is we get to meet folks, make new friends, and I think Shannon is definitely one of those ones. Even though she is not Team Tequila, she's still a good person. I have not had the new canned water yet. It didn't bother me. I think the issue with the canned water, so if you don't know, this was posted this earlier today at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. On a number of ships, Royal Caribbean has replaced the bottled water with cans of water because canned water is easier to recycle, evidently. But the problem with canned water is you can't reseal it. With a bottle, you can put the cap back on, put it in your pocket, use it later on. Unfortunately, that's not an option with the canned water, but it didn't really bother me that much. I mean, if you have a drink package, you know, they're very, very much disposable. So, Carol wants to know, how do you keep track of this ship time while in port? Great question. So I always bring my phone off the ship with me. And in any phone, iPhone, Android, whatever, you can just turn off the automatic time set. There's usually an automatic time setting. It helps really with daylight savings time or whatnot. Turn that off. Set your time zone to where you want it to be, which is usually Eastern time or whatever time your ship is in, and you're good to go. Certainly, you go old school, Carol, and get a watch, not an Apple Watch, like a wind the watch kind of thing. Remember those? You can do that as well. I don't do that. I bring my phone, but yeah. We've got some super chats coming in. First of all, Mr. David Alvarado again with an epic super chat. Woo! What's my favorite thing to do in St. Martin? I love going to the French side and going to the beach, whether it's Orient Bay which is, I think they're still rebuilding it. Grand Case Beach. I think it's absolutely beautiful. That's definitely a beach day, if you ask me. Michael S. coming in with a super chat. Thank you, Michael. Do you think Skypad will be added to Quantum and Anthem when they are amplified? Boy, that's a great question. I mean, we don't know if and when that'll ever happen in terms of the amplification program. I mean, I think it will come back at some point, but how soon, I don't know. But it certainly would make sense for them to do that, right? Sean wants to know, what is my favorite thing to do on Odyssey? Oh, no question about it. It was Zone Zero, the virtual reality thing. That was unlike anything I have ever done. Juan wants to know, if you're not traveling to the Bahamas, is the COVID vaccination required? Yeah, for all Royal Caribbean ships right now, Juan, as of right now, it is required regardless of where you're going. So, yep, the answer is yes. Dan, this is an interesting question from Danilza G. Royal Caribbean changed my itinerary. What can I do? Well, you don't have to do anything. If Royal Caribbean changes your itinerary, usually it's just a, hey, FYI, your itinerary has been changed. That's it. There's not like a mechanism or a means to get out of it. If you're before final payment date, you could cancel and get your money back. With Cruises Confidence program, which is still active right now, you could cancel even if you're past final payment date and get a 100% future cruise credit and then rebook a different sailing. Maybe that goes to the places you wanted to go. But that is essentially it. Peter wants to know, what do I think about the world cruise? Serenade of the Seas doing a 274-night world cruise. I wish I had the time and the means to do so. I mean, it's really the time. I got kids in school, and yeah, going away for that long would just not be. It sounds amazing. Even if I visited only half those places that they have listed there, that would be an amazing experience. And I love that Royal Caribbean is branching out and trying new things there. Claudia has a question for us. I selected a guarantee interior room, but I did get the Rail Up email. Is it worth me placing a bid on maybe a different cabin? You got nothing to lose, Claudine. Just keep in mind it's binding. So if it goes ahead, you're going to be stuck with it, but you're going to get it. But the thing is, Claudine, just because there's a Rail Up doesn't actually mean there's an opportunity to upgrade. So just keep your expectations in line. Don't put the bid upgrade in and be like, you know what? We're getting upgraded. It's just a matter of time. I've seen people put crazy bids in there and not get it, Claudine. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. Jen did the at-home test. It was so easy. Really, really easy. Alan wants to know where can you order the at-home test? Just go to emed.com. emed.com. Leave me on a ship. What a great name. Thank you for the super chat. If you have the key, what time should you show up to board the ship? As of right now, and this could have changed, but first of all, you get an email to let you know. But when I did it on Odyssey of the Seas, you had to be there between 11 and 11:30 a.m. Keep in mind, by the way, leave me on the ship, that this could be different depending on your sailing. But it was that half an hour window. If you miss that window, then you fall back to whatever time you had via the Royal Caribbean app. Mr. Ron Ladowski, what a legend. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Woo! March 4th, your Wonder of the Seas cruise date is my birthday. Have a few shots in my honor. Only tequila in your honor, Ron. I think we would have to do that. Even Shannon, if she was there, would have to do a shot. I know she's saying right now, nope, not going to happen. Shannon, first time I ever met her, super nice, but she was not, let me say, Shannon must have had a easy time in high school because peer pressure did not work on her at all. So, Dara says, what's up, Dara? Canned water did not have a bad taste. Didn't bother me at all. Yeah, taste wasn't the issue. It's just that you can't reseal the bottle. Oh boy, here's Shannon's running mate over here. Becky Megan with MEI Travel. Team Fireball. Deep down, Becky, inside, somewhere over there, underneath all those sweet Sea Pass cards, there's a tequila girl waiting to get out. That's all I got to say. Luther wants to know, what ships have the escape rooms or bumper cars? Bumper cars are only on the Quantum class ships. So Quantum, Anthem, Ovation, Spectrum, and Odyssey. Escape rooms are on a few more ships. Oasis, Harmony, Symphony, Mariner, Navigator, Freedom, I think. There's a fair amount of ships that have an escape room on there. That's some of them, but there's more than what I've listed there, Luther. So usually new ships or ships that have been amplified is a good starting point for what to expect an escape room right there. The Teresa McChain, thank you for the super chat, $4.99 holiday super chat challenge. Show some holiday love to Matt. I appreciate it, Teresa, but you guys being here is showing me love. This is not about the super chats and about the money and all that other stuff. So many of you guys, like Teresa, have been here week after week, live chat after live chat, especially during the months in which you had no business being here because there was no cruises going on. So I appreciate you guys. Really, really do. Thank you. Jared says, do you book onboard activities via the Royal Caribbean app or via the web browser when you're about to board the ship? The Royal Caribbean app. You can do it via the app. Basically, Jared, you go through when you're in the app, you go through the event schedule, and when you click on one like Zone Zero or North Star or one of the production shows, you'll have an option will light up to reserve it now. Right now, it's probably grayed out, but then you could, when you get on board the ship and you're connected to the Royal Caribbean Wi-Fi, then it becomes enabled. So, Trisha is watching us from Symphony of the Seas. I am extremely jealous. I wish I was on Symphony. Have a great time. Connie wants to know where's the best place to snorkel for Coco Key. So it's basically Chill Island. It is the east end of the island. That's the best place for snorkeling. No question about it. Amy wants to know what's my favorite thing to do in Cozumel. Definitely eat. I'll be honest with you. I love eating. I mean, there's great beaches in Cozumel. There's a lot of things to do, but I am a sucker for Mexican food. Does anyone here love really good, authentic Mexican food? Salsa, pico de gallo, really. We're talking about guacamole, mole, tacos. I mean, like real stuff. And here in the States, we just get a facsimile of it. But I love eating. So I love going downtown and eating, Amy. But you can also get some really good food all over the island. There's some fantastic beach places, whether they're all-inclusives or pay-as-you-go. There are a number of them that I like. Paradise Beach, Nachi Cacom, El Cosmolino. Those are all that come to mind for those beach day kind of things. Stephen wants to know, is there any limitations to available apps using Voom? One app I know that doesn't work anymore, they're clearly blocking it, is the speed test app. There are other apps that work with it, but most apps tend to work. I've not run into many issues. It's just really a matter of the internet speed being fast enough to support it rather than Royal Caribbean blocking anything. Some of the commercial grade VPNs don't work. If you have like if you have an enterprise level VPN, like your company gave you one, it's probably okay. But I have heard some hit or miss when it comes to VPNs as well. Michael wants to know, will rapid COVID test be accepted or does it have to be PCR? Nope. If you are fully vaccinated, Michael, it can be a PCR or a rapid antigen test. If your kids are unvaccinated, then it must be a PCR test. So it's a good question. Animation XP says, if I miss a ship going to Coco Key, can you fly or sail there? Or do you have to wait for the next port after Coco Key? I'm not entirely certain, Animation XP. If you miss a cruise, or you miss the ship, like on Embarkation or anywhere, it's really up to you to get to the ship again. How you do that, I have no idea. I've never gotten to that point. Thank God. I hope I never do. Do I have to do a PCR test if Royal Caribbean is offering complimentary? They are not offering a complimentary test, Winisha. The only complimentary test Royal Caribbean is offering is at the end of the cruise. But we're talking about primarily in the conversation we've had thus far about before the cruise. So before the cruise, it's up to you at your own cost to get a test. On the ship, like at the end of the cruise, if you need to go back to like Canada or another country and you need a COVID test to do that, then yes, Royal Caribbean uses a complimentary test. But before the cruise, it is up to you to get a negative COVID test. James has got our next super chat. Thank you, James. Love your content. Thank you. Appreciate that. 17 Days till Symphony of the Seas. Been waiting 18 months. Can't believe it's finally here. Who's coming with me? I am. We're not going? Well, I don't know who he is, but I want to know who's going with him, and I don't want to leave him hanging here. Bro code. Well, I don't know. I'm going with you on the cruise, James, but have a great time. Neil wants to know, great question. How do I know if the price of my cruise has dropped? Basically, what the simplest way, not the easiest way, but the simplest way is to go to Royal Caribbean's website, do a mock booking, book the same sailing, try to find the same room category, get to the end of it. Basically, you don't have to do all the put your information in there, but look at the price, and then you're looking at that final price. Is it lower than what you have? Make sure the category is the same. Now, I'm not talking like ocean view to ocean view. I'm talking, look at what you have booked. You have category, 4E booked, then make sure you have 4E booked when you're doing the fake reservation. So, or actually the easiest way to do it is have your travel agent do it. I know the folks at MEI Travel regularly reprice cruises for free for their clients, so works out quite a bit. Chris, first time on Harmony, are rooms ready once you board? Not necessarily. Rooms are usually board around 1 or 2 p.m. Now, if you board the ship at 2 o'clock, yes, rooms will be ready once you board. But if you're boarding earlier than that, the answer is no. We have some super chats to catch up on. First of all, Betty Eakin coming in with an epic super chat. Woo! Thank you, Betty. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. I do appreciate it. Let's see. Alex says, have you seen the Royal Caribbean website in the sail from section? It shows that you'll be able to sail from Coco Key. I have no idea what you're talking about, Alex, but I can tell you that they're not doing any cruises from Coco Key, if that's what you're asking. Could be wrong on that. David Alvarado again. Somebody hide the super chat button from David. Thank you again, my dude. Woo!
Your cousin from Boston.
That's the wrong button, but we'll take that for now. Do you have any insight on how to acquire an early boarding time, or is it just luck? We used to get much earlier than this. It's just boarding time. I hear that's not a great plan now. Yeah, no, you got to go with your boarding time whatever time you get in the app. Number one, you want to try to get your check-in time as soon as you can. When you're like many months before your cruise and you go to do the online check-in in the Royal Caribbean app, it will say, check again on such and such date. You want to do that as early as you can, but keep an eye on it, David. There's been many instances where, and I'm sure Shannon and Becky and Mike Passor remember this when we were on the Harmony of the Seas, where initially the check-in times were whatever they were, let's call it 1 o'clock. And then they kept on opening up earlier times. So keep an eye on it. But basically, you're just watching the Royal Caribbean app and periodically checking back if there is an earlier time available. Larry Rickman, thank you, Larry, for the super chat. And I always appreciate Larry's comments on our YouTube videos. I do appreciate it. Any idea why Wonder of the Seas Transatlantic was taken off sale or removed from the site? I'm on it. It's not sold out. I called the Royal Caribbean today, and they're just baffled. No, I wouldn't read too much into that, Larry. The Royal Caribbean website, look, we love Royal Caribbean. Their website is just notoriously flaky. Now, it could be indicative of something, but I wouldn't read too much into it until you truly, something is actually announced one way or another. Greg wants to know, is Voom worth it on an Alaska cruise? I mean, it's better than no internet, although in some scenarios, when you get really far north and you're away from the ports, sometimes there is no internet because you lose the signal out there. But I get it anyway, Greg, because I just want to have the internet, and that's me. So, when will Royal Caribbean start sailing at full capacity? Full capacity, true full capacity. Last we heard, and this was during Royal Caribbean's third quarter earnings call with investors, they said basically summer 2022 is what they're angling for. Could that be later, earlier? Remains to be seen. But Josh Kaplan with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. If I get the Pinnacle Patreon level, what will the cabin gift be? Also selling an adventure in 2 weeks. I'll be selling an adventure. I'm going to adventure in 2 weeks. You put the same thing there twice. No worries. So Josh is asking about our Royal Caribbean Blog Insider program. Basically, Josh, you send me a message before your cruise, and we'll hook you up with something. We've done a number of different things, basically things you can order for the cruise to be delivered to your room, which there's a list of options there. We can't send, I can't send just about anything out there, but we'll work with you. But thank you in advance, even if you're just considering it. I do appreciate it. Mindhunter wants to know, how can I get onboard credit from Royal Caribbean? The most common way you'll get onboard credit for your Royal Caribbean cruise is by booking a cruise. There's a booking promotion. It's book now and get $100 onboard credit. That's a very common way. Another common way to get onboard credit is if you book it next cruise, which is you're on board a ship, they're going to give you extra onboard credit for booking on board the ship. And the amount depends on the length of your cruise and a variety of other factors. Also, obviously, going back to what I said earlier about the promotion, like when you're booking a cruise, the amount of onboard credit will be dependent on the promotion that Royal Caribbean happens to be offering. Those are the two most common ways to get onboard credit. Other ways you get onboard credit, something goes wrong on a cruise, they may give you onboard credit as compensation. But I think the first two are really the most common ways you're going to get onboard credit right there. Let's see here. Eddie Murphy. Wow, movie star. I'm sure you've never heard that joke before. Thank you for the super chat. 13 days for Oasis of the Seas. How's the Voom internet on Oasis and FaceTime work with the package? It's great on Oasis, and yes, FaceTime will work, no problem at all. It works really well on Oasis of the Seas. So make sure, Eddie, you get the Voom Surf and Stream, not the Voom Surf package. Get the Voom Surf and Stream. It'll work wonderful for you. Sean Dolan wants to know, do I know what day Royal Caribbean will publish 7-day Caribbean deployments for 23 is what Sean's talking about. No, it'll be this week, Sean, and it will not be today. So today's out. Usually what happens, Sean, is they load it in at night, start loading it in overnight, and the next morning we know about it. I'll post about it at royalcaribbeanblog.com, but I really don't know which day it will be exactly. So we'll have to wait and see still. Rima, I don't know what Tony said there, but Royal Caribbean recently changed the rule back. So a number of months ago, that's right. So initially when cruises started up this summer, it was PCR only for the kids. Then Royal Caribbean added the option for PCR or antigen, but they've now recently changed it back, and it's PCR only for the kids. So, Chris White, thank you very much, man. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for your generous or your very kind comment, I should say. Speaking of generous, though, Bear Bull Cruising, thank you, buddy, for the super chat. Appreciate it. What are you looking forward to the most when you come to the West Coast for your Christmas cruise to Mexico? The key word there is Mexico. So we're going on Navigator of the Seas, December 24th, Mexican Riviera, my very first time. I am so excited to go to these places in Mexico I've never been. Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, Cabo San Lucas. I've heard about these places for years, never been. I am excited to try these ports out and visit these places. We got some really fun shore excursions booked. We're doing an ATV tour in Mazatlan. We're doing a catamaran, something or other, in Puerto Vallarta or Cabo, one of the two. And then on the other port, we are doing a beach, pool, all-inclusive kind of day kind of thing. So I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I've heard wonderful things about it. So I'm very excited. It's not often I get to try a brand new itinerary, and for me, that is absolutely what I'm looking forward to. Eka Mouse says, how long can you stay on the ship on disembarkation day? Is it longer with the key? It is not longer with the key. You can stay on board till about 9 or so, maybe 9:30. Then they really start getting like, they're going to start paging you and be like, Eka Mouse, get off the ship. Maybe a little bit nicer there, but yeah. Alan says, we are cruising out of Miami on Sunday, flying on Saturday. Is the test done on Friday? Good for a Sunday cruise? Yes. For fully vaccinated folks, Alan, you can do your test up to 2 calendar days before your cruise. So you leave on Sunday. You don't count Sunday. Saturday, Friday. You're good to go, my friend. Absolutely. Dara, first, David was my friend first. That's all I got to say. David was my friend first. Michelle wants to know, can you buy an at-home COVID test? Yes, but there's only one that Royal Caribbean accepts, Michelle, which is the Abbott Binax Now AG card test. It's available through emed.com. Royal Caribbean also sells it through their partner Optum, same exact test. But it has to be that test. You can't go to Walgreens or CVS or your local pharmacy and just purchase any at-home test. It must be this one because this is the one that's proctored, meaning it's done over a video call as opposed to you doing it on your own without anybody watching what you're doing. Cheeseball, this is a really good question. Are you allowed to show up in port in their bathing suits? 100% yes. There's no dress code. Maybe you got to wear shoes, but yeah, absolutely. And that's really good. You might be saying that's a silly question, Matt. Why are you answering this one? It's actually a really good idea. I mean, maybe it starts chafing a little bit personally, but that's just Matt here. TMI, I know. But you can absolutely wear your bathing suit on board the ship. And the reason why it's a really good idea is when you get on board the ship, the pools, the water slides, the flow rider, those are all open on embarkation day, and there will be no crowds over there. So take advantage of it. I would say, personally, what I would do, Cheeseball, is I would pack them in a backpack that I'm bringing on board the ship, and then go into the public restrooms near the pool deck to change. But hey, I get it. Public restrooms, not the. I don't love spending a ton of time in there. So yeah, it's just maybe it's just easier to wear your bathing suit on board, and absolutely you can do that. You're on vacation, man. Wanisha, I'm not sure where you're seeing a complimentary embarkation day antigen test, but it is not complimentary. Let me tell you, let me be very clear on this. I don't want you to show up and be confused. Royal Caribbean is not giving you a complimentary test. I don't know where you copied this from, but it's if you want to post the link, Wanisha, I'm happy to take a look at it. But I'm telling you this right now, Royal Caribbean is not giving you a complimentary test. Oh, it's for no. Okay. You're talking about kids. I'm sorry. No. Okay. Now I know what we're talking about. So that is for kids who are 11 and under, who are unvaccinated. That is just for them, 11 and under, unvaccinated. Keeping in mind, those kids still need to get a PCR test on their own dime, or probably your dime, 3 days before the cruise, up to 3 days before the cruise. Likewise, for you as a vaccinated adult, you must get a test done up to 2 days before the cruise. But what you posted right there is for unvaccinated kids who will get an additional test for free on board. And I apologize for getting confused over there, but I want to make sure it's very clear that it's not for you as an adult. I'm assuming you're an adult. That's not the case there. So if you look at the email you got from Royal Caribbean, you scroll a little bit up, you will see there's a header there for unvaccinated kids, and then above that, even they say you need to come to the terminal with a negative test that you're paying for. So keep that in mind. Ray just got on board the Navigator. Thank you for all the great tips. Ray, look for a guy in the pub. His name is Big Dog Ron. Just walk into the pub and go, is someone named Big Dog Ron? I'm dead serious. Someone named Big Dog Ron in here? He's there. Say hello to him for me. Maria wants to know, do I have to go during the check-in time or can I go earlier? No, you need to go at your check-in time. If you don't, they're going to keep you outside the cruise terminal. So go at your check-in time, maybe 15 minutes earlier, but not much more than that. They will deny you. They'll say you have to wait around for your exact boarding time. They don't want the cruise terminal to get too busy with all the, social distancing and whatnot. So Andy wants to know, how do you prepay gratuities? You pick up the phone and or the email, whatever. You basically ask your travel agent. You let MEI Travel know, hey, I want to prepay my gratuities, and they can do that for you. If you book directly with the cruise line, you have to call Royal Caribbean and do that way. TJ is traveling on Harmony next week. Most excursions are already booked. Will they add more? Possibly, but there's no guarantee one way or another, TJ. It remains to be seen. Garrett, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Garrett. You are a smart man not to listen to bad reviews of the Navigator. We were on the inaugural 7-nighter on November 19th, and it was fantastic. I mean, I've gone on this rant many, many times. Thank you, Garrett, again for the super chat. But I'm telling you, negative online reviews in general are a complete waste of your time. If you want to read them for entertainment value, go for it. But one of the biggest mistakes people do is they read a review and they're like, oh my goodness, there's so many bad reviews about this ship. Doesn't matter. People write bad reviews about lots of silly things for silly reasons. Ignore it. And Garrett, thank you for proving my point right there. Appreciate it. We have another super chat coming in from Steve Cassell, who wrote a $5 super chat and wrote 25. I appreciate that. It's still a $5 super chat, but thank you again, Stephen. It's just a thought that counts, quite frankly. So do appreciate it. Marcus wants to know, what do I recommend in Roatan? I don't know if they still offer it, but Royal Caribbean used to offer a kind of a semi all-inclusive to a place called Mayan Princess. I've reviewed it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I like that quite a bit. I would recommend that. Stephen wrote here, we've got Stephen's, maybe this is what Stephen meant right here. We leave on Independence of the Seas. It's our first cruise. Are the antigen tests that I purchased still good for the cruise? I did get the test from them, or do I have to get a PCR? No, antigen is fine, Stephen. As a vaccinated adult, you're good to go. If you're talking about the test you bought, do you mean the at-home tests that are proctored, the Abbott's Binax Now AG card one, the one that's proctored? If so, yes, that's acceptable. But if you went to Walgreens or CVS and just bought one off the shelf, no, that doesn't count right there. So Rosalind wants to know, does everyone over 5 have to be vaccinated? No. It's only 12 and up need to be vaccinated. 11 under do not have to be vaccinated. They could be, but they don't have to be. So Chris says, I think I could pass for 11 and under. I'm 62. Look, as you get a little bit older, you start shrinking a little bit. Maybe that's what happens right there. Who knows? But Danielle is taking her son's friend with us. What a nice mom. Flying down to Miami the day before. Can I help him with tests even though I am not the parent? That's good. I don't know the answer. I've never done, my kids just got fully vaccinated, so they've never done the at-home test that's proctored. I've done it for them. We've done they've had sniffles and things like that. And we did the regular at-home test. But I've never done the one online to see how that works. Like, are they going to ask for proof? Like, are you this person's parent or guardian? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, you could call them, Danielle. Go to emed.com or go to, the Abbott's website and give them a quick call there. So Andrew wants to know, what's the latest you can get to the port for embarkation? Depends on the port and the sailing. Usually around 3 or 4 p.m. But again, it depends on the sailing. It's hard to know, quite frankly. Richard is sailing on Symphony of the Seas on Sunday. Want to watch a specific NFL game? Is the internet reliable enough to stream it? If not, will Playmakers play all the games? Playmakers will play most of the games, not all of them. There is limitation. They have contracts with the satellites, blah, blah, blah. But yes, the internet on Symphony is very good. You should be able to stream the game. I don't think you'll have a problem with that, quite frankly. So Deborah says, when I made my reservation, they offered me the option to prepay the gratuities. Yes, it's usually an option as well. In fact, Deborah, when I book a cruise, I ask for that. Sandra's going on an adventure this season. We have 2 cabins next to each other on the 7th floor aft. Can the balcony dividers be opened? Unfortunately, not. The Voyager class is kind of weird. Mariner and Navigator, you can open the dividers, but they're like a subset. They're the newest Voyager class ships. The original ones, Adventure, Voyager, and Explorer, you cannot, which stinks. It's one of the nice things of having that. So, yeah, unfortunately not, Sandra. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news on that. James wants to know, how do we know what our check-in time is? You go to the Royal Caribbean app before the cruise. You go to your cruise. You go to you go to your sailing. you go to, there's an option to check in, and then you go through the check-in process there, James, through the Royal Caribbean app, and you'll see the time over there. Tanya says, my daughter's 11. She's fully vaccinated. Received an email for the registration for the antigen test at the terminal. Do we need to register? No, I got the same thing, Tanya. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. My kids got vaccinated as well. But the Royal Caribbean system has not been updated yet to know to account for kids that are vaccinated. It's still under the old rules where it assumes that nobody under 12 could possibly be vaccinated. Anyway, ignore those emails, Tanya. Just show up. Obviously, bring your kid's CDC vaccination card, and you'll be fine. Don't worry about that. So, yep. But I know I got the email too, and I'm like, you get a little nervous, right? I understand exactly where you're coming from on that one. So, is there bingo on a cruise? Heck yes, there's bingo on a cruise. Absolutely. Rory from South Carolina, my dude. Woo! Thank you for the super chat. Matt, we board Harmony next week for a back-to-back. Very nice. After week 1, we turn diamond. Do you think Loyalty Ambassador will speed up the process so we can forego drink packages for week 2? Yes, I am being cheap. First, you're not being cheap. You're being practical. And the answer is yes, absolutely. Go speak to the Loyalty Ambassador on cruise number 1. Tell them what's happening. They'll be like, no problem, Mr. Rory. Come back on cruise 2. They'll give you the upgrade and you're good to go on the spot. Absolutely no problem at all. So congratulations on making diamond, dude. That is fantastic. So going back to the question about the parents thing, about helping the kids, Shannon helped her kid off camera with the at-home test. Proctor didn't even say anything about it. Yeah, I think you have to. I think you'll be fine. I have never heard about anything else. So if you can't trust Shannon, even though she does like Fireball, who can you trust, right? Stephen wants to know, are movies played throughout the week on the Oasis of the Seas? Yes, there'll be regular movies shown on the ship. Yep. Realtor wants to know, are cabin upgrades easy now the cruise is not 100% capacity? No, not necessarily. In fact, I remember we were on, I don't know if Josh Carruthers is here. I haven't seen him yet, but we were on a sailing on Odyssey. I believe it was Odyssey. And it was definitely not 100% capacity. And we thought for sure it'd be easy to get an upgrade. And no, he never got one. So it can be. I would say in general, when it comes to Royal Up, it is easier to get a Royal Up if you're going from like an inside room to a balcony than it is to go up to a suite. Suites are very limited and they're very much in demand. So, Leverett wants to know, when booking my next cruise on board, does my travel agent get the credit for it? Yes, absolutely. You just they'll ask, but let them know, hey, by the way, my travel agent, want to work with them. Holy moly, my dude! Woo! Dude, David Alvarado, my guy, dude, thank you so much. So we're conflicted about Coco Key. We can't decide between Thrill Water Park or Coco Beach Club. Help me. Well, if you haven't been to either one, obviously that can be a bit of a, which should I do, right? The water park is about going down water slides. The beach club is about relaxing and kind of taking it easy. It's they're very much different experiences there. So are you looking to ride water slides all day? And there's a wave pool as well. You don't have to do water slides, but do you want to go down water slides or do you want to like chill out in kind of a relaxed area? I do like they have the infinity pool, but there's not like attractions. If you're looking for an active day, water park. If you're looking for a chill out day, then the Coco Beach Club is the way to go. I think that's definitely the right strategy there. But you can't if you've never been to either one, David, just flip a coin, whatever you want to do, whatever's cheaper, book that one. And then on your next cruise, try the other one. That's probably the best way to go about it. Do not book both. There's just not enough time in the day to make it worthwhile from a value standpoint to do both right there. So, let's see here. Yeek a mouse. I know Playmakers, especially dining, but can you get a drink there with the drink package? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Bobby Meyer coming in with a super chat. Thank you, Bobby. Remind everyone how to become an insider. Thank you for everything you do. I appreciate it, man. If anyone wants to be an insider, which is our support program, you go to RoyalCaribbeanblog.com/support. RoyalCaribbeanblog.com. Slap the pet super chat. There you go. That's I'm forgetting my own shtick, Tony, with Rory's super chat or David's super chat. Rory probably deserves that as well, but yeah, absolutely. Rosalind, thank you for the super chat right there. Pair character cheerfully blowing a party horn. I do appreciate pair characters doing almost about anything. Rory says, mattress saved me more than Geico could have ever. $1,100, dude. That is fantastic. Pascal is here, one of our Royal Caribbean blog message board moderators. Love Pascal. She's probably late because she was shoveling snow. She loves snow. That's why she lives in Minnesota. Can't get enough of the white stuff there. So I'm jealous, but glad to see you here, Pascal. Welcome. Pickleton Gaming just got in here, going on your first cruise on the 30th on Allure of the Seas. We got a floating cabana. Coco King, how much is the normal to tip the waiters? I'm from Britain, not used to the USA tipping rules. It's a great question. So you are going on, I'm sorry, you're doing a floating cabana. There's not a right or wrong answer when it comes to tipping. There's honestly, if you ask everybody in the chat right now, you're going to get very different answers. I usually, I understand this is usually I give you a very vague answer. I would say it depends on how many people you have. I think for 4 people, $100 is a reasonable tip. If you're uncomfortable with that, I think they appreciate anything you can give them. Quite frankly, you don't have to make it rain. I'm sure they'd appreciate that, but you don't have to do that. It really depends on how many people are going with you. Usually, when I'm with my family, so that's 4 of us and just my family, we usually just put down, here's $100. Thanks for everything, because we order a lot of drinks. We ask for food things. It also depends how much you use them and the services and whatnot. But yeah. Neil, I have never booked through the casino. I don't have any status with Royal Caribbean's casino program, so I don't have an option over there. But I mean, the casino can give you discounted, if not free, cruises. So if you qualify for it, take advantage of it. I have a lot of friends who definitely do that, and they absolutely love it. Kendall wants to know, what does the vaccination check-in process look like for someone on a cruise since COVID started? Is it complicated or quick? It's really easy. It's quick. So number 1, Kendall, in the Royal Caribbean app, you can upload a photo of your vaccination card, similar to how you can take a photo selfie. Same idea. It just speeds the process up. But essentially, you're going to have to show them when you get to the terminal first, they're going to ask you your negative COVID test, your vaccination card, and of course, your regular cruise documents, right? They'll ask to see that one more time at the actual check-in, like when you get inside the building past security and you do the formal check-in, but you're just showing them proof and they'll look it over. It's like a photo of it if they need to, and that's it. It's pretty straightforward. Tony Diaz in the house and still awake. I thought I felt the Earth's axis tilt just a little bit from that change. My goodness, but I'm glad you're staying up, burning the midnight 7:30 p.m. Eastern oil. I appreciate it. Chris wants to know, does Serenade of the Seas have karaoke? They do. Yeah, I don't know. I think they do it in the Colony Club or whatever they call that room in the back there past the Schooner Bar. But yeah, they do. Absolutely. Todd, no, we don't know yet. It'll be this week, Todd, but we don't know what day. And of course, as you may or may not know, I will post it when they're released. I'll post it at royalcaribbeanblog.com. You'll be the first to know. No questions about it. Jay wants to know, how do the transfers work when you get off the cruise? Basically, my understanding is you get off the ship, you go through the whole cruise terminal, get your luggage and all that. There's buses, they'll have signs if you're doing a transfer, and then you hop right on there and you're good to go. So it's pretty easy. Next question is from Cherry Pie. Going on Anthem in March for booking with specific travel agency. Every passenger in my booking got a soda package. Can I upgrade that to a refreshment package? Just pay the difference. Generally not. I've heard that's not possible. Cherry Pie, and the reason being, it's because you're getting it for free, complimentary. There's no value to it. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. There's value to it, but you know what I mean. Like, no, you cannot. It's take it or leave it kind of situation there. But yeah. The Teresa McShane with another super chat. Woo! I'm so proud of Tony staying up late for this great show. I'm so proud of Tony as well. I can't. He must have, Teresa. He must have toothpicks holding his eyes open. And he's sitting there and be like, how much longer is this chat going to be? Tony needs sleep now. Tony does talk like the Hulk in the third person when he's by himself. Jade wants to know, can we just show up to a show or do we have to book when on board? Depends on the show. Some shows you can absolutely just show up to, but there is the possibility to make a reservation. For most, I would say, number one, you should make a reservation. It's free to do so. So do it once you're on board the ship. But depending on the show time and the subject matter, some shows don't really have that much demand for them. So it really depends on that. Tiago wants to know, why is Royal Caribbean not allowing to make reservations in advance anymore? I don't know. Before, when they first restarted cruises this summer, I just assumed whatever back-end system they were using wasn't like someone didn't turn it back on or whatever. But I don't know why they haven't turned it on yet. So it's an excellent question right there. I don't know. Mr. Joe Mock with the super chat. By the way, congratulations to Joe Mock on the birth of his grandchild. I think it's number 4, or you have more than one. Let's put it that way. But Mazel Tov, Joe. thank you for joining us here, who's maybe actually on board a ship right now. Joe's an awesome, awesome guy. He's on. Yep, he is on. He's on the Freedom of the Seas Schooner Bar. Says hi. No doubt, knowing Joe's a great guy, but Joe is not he's not a shy man. He is not a timid man. I have no doubt he has Bluetooth speakers that he put on the piano bar, on the piano at the Schooner Bar, so everybody, whether they want to or not, can watch this live broadcast. But thank you, Joe. I appreciate you. Rory has a quick question for us here. Continue for my last question. Should I cancel the drink package now or wait till board Harmony? For the cruise too. So Rory's going to Diamond, and for the second cruise, he's going to buy a drink package. I'd cancel it now. It's just easier to cancel it now. You can always buy it on board the ship, Rory. You know, obviously it'll cost a little bit more, but you're going to get the drink pack. You're going to get those 5 drinks there. So yeah, I would definitely cancel now. It's just easier from a billing standpoint for you. Mario says the quality of the headliner shows declined during the pandemic. I don't think so. There's been a lot of acts that I have heard of before. We were on Odyssey of the Seas, and there was a Journey cover band, and they were fantastic. But there's been many different entertainment offerings, whether they're comedians, featured entertainers. It seems to me to be the same caliber of whatever Royal Caribbean had before the pandemic. So no, they're not bringing out. And now we have a YouTube video of an aging man talking about Royal Caribbean as your featured entertainment. I would love that personally. I think Joe Mock would love that personally, but the general public probably not. But no, it's they still have a pretty good level of entertainment there. So I think it's quite frankly the same level. Eek, a mouse! Once that was escape room worth the money on Symphony? I think it does. I think it is worth it. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. It's a good challenge. And does the key give us private time for an activity like that? Not for the escape room. No. The key, I have a video coming out, I think tomorrow. Hope Jenna's like watching this now. I'm like, Matt, what are you talking about? Our review of the key is coming out. I don't like the key, Eka Mouse. I don't recommend it. When we were on Odyssey of the Seas, and I had the key, the private time was for the rock climbing wall and the flow rider. That was it. So yeah. Jared wants to know, are all activities on board to be reserved, like rock climbing, flow rider, water slides? No. No, those are all operating normally. The only ones that would, and you already knew this probably, was like, North Star and Ripcord by iFly do require a reservation, but water slides, rock climbing wall, no. Same for the flow rider. Michelle wants to know, I've almost been on for an hour. My goodness. How long before our sailing will we see what shows are playing? Patiently waiting. Thanks, and L'chaim. L'chaim to you as well. Don't know why we're L'chaim, but L'chaim. How long before our sailing will we see what shows are playing? Usually a couple weeks before you're sailing. I should put this to the test. I got a cruise coming up here in 11 days. If I go to the Royal Caribbean app, they can show up there. If I go to the Royal Caribbean app and I go to my activities, so I've got a cruise December 24th, Michelle, and it's still showing me nothing. So it could be just a couple of days. I'll say a couple of days before your cruise, Michelle, you would see the actual entertainment being listed over there. But of course, one thing you could do in the meantime, just get an idea, a ballpark idea of what to expect, is look at a past cruise compass. We keep an archive of past cruise compasses over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. And Michelle, if you're booking, if you're on I forget which, I think you might have told me before, but if you're on Harmony of the Seas 7-night cruise, you find a 7-night Harmony of the Seas cruise compass that we have from a couple of weeks ago. It's going to be very similar to your sailing. They don't reinvent the wheel in terms of entertainment for every single sailing out there. So keep that in mind. Tiago wants to know, can I switch the 8 p.m. dining time to my time dining on board? You might be able to. It's all subject to availability, Tiago. If you know you want to change, you should do it before your cruise. But it's not unheard of to make that change. You just have to understand there is a limited capacity of these, to my time. But you can certainly talk to the head waiter on board, and they can see if there's something possible. But I have certainly heard of it. It's definitely happened in the past. Kevin, I don't know the answer to this question. I would say you should bring your CDC card as proof. I don't know if anyone here is from New York State and can verify this one way or another, but you should be bringing your CDC card. End of story. Just bring that card. That would be my understanding of that. Hey, Hunt Lewis is here. What's up, Hunt? What are the big main theater and aqua theater shows? I'm being lazy and asking you rather than Google. Somewhere, Hunt. Marissa is shaking her fist. Just Google it. Well, which ship? Oh, on Harmony. Sorry. It is Greece and Columbus the Musical in the main theater. The aqua theater is The Fine Line and Hideaway Heist. I believe the two shows there. Wow, I still remember. Keith, Bruce, is it still 30 days until final payment, or has it changed back to 90? It is 30 for cruises up until March. Keith, beyond that, they have not made an announcement where no. So cruises beyond that are still at 90, but again, that could change going forward. Moonshadow, check our recent cruise compass. Your best answer to get an idea of what to expect with entertainment in terms of how many shows of a comedian or anything are offered on board. Look at the past cruise compass. It's a really, really good idea. T. Higgs has a suggestion. Have a written plan of shows you want and times and dates prior to getting on, makes you choosing run smoothly. That's a really good idea. I mean, it's a good idea, as you're sitting in the hotel the night before in the cruise terminal. It's a great thing to do. Absolutely. So, what ships have the best shows? The ship you happen to be on, because you're on board. That's all you need to know. Dara says, no, don't use the Excelsior Pass. That's what I thought, but, I'm not from New York State, so I wouldn't know that. Hey, Josh, come in with a super chat. Thank you, Josh. Best and worst stops on my upcoming cruise in January: Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, San Juan, Labadee. So are you like Puerto Plata is your best and Labadee is your worst, or is it the other way around? I'm not sure. But I've not been to Puerto Plata. I love St. Thomas. I love it more now. I like going to St. John. I love San Juan and Labadee. I don't know that you're actually going to go to Labadee because there have been no cruises that have visited Labadee yet. But let's hope you get to go there because that'd be fantastic. Trey says, shouldn't Royal Caribbean consider a discounted drink package for Diamond or Diamond Plus, given that they already do? The answer to your question is they do offer those, Trey. The difference, so you're saying, what are you talking about, Matt? So you can absolutely get on board your ship and go buy the drink package or a Wi-Fi package, and they will give you a discount for being a Diamond or Diamond Plus member. It's 20 or 25% off. I forget exactly how much it is for Diamond or Diamond Plus. The thing is, Trey, you cannot stack that discount with the pre-cruise discount. You can do either one. So as an example, Trey, when I go on a 3 or 4 night cruise, I don't pre-purchase my internet. I wait till we get on board the ship and then use my Diamond discount because it's better. Because as Diamond Plus, I get 2 days for free on a 3 or 4 night cruise. It's going to be cheaper than any discount they can offer me beforehand. Same is true for the drink package. But for the drink package, I prefer to pre-purchase it because, number one, it's never any worse than the Diamond discount offered on board. And I like being able to pre-purchase and separate the cost out. So I don't have this giant bill. If you book it on board the ship, then obviously it's going to be a cost that you're going to accrue to your CPAS account. So, but the answer is you absolutely do get those discounts there. In fact, and you're wondering, well, how do I know about these discounts, Matt? When you get on board the ship, you'll get a letter in your stateroom and it will list all those discounts that are there. So, yep. All right, got time for another question or two, guys. Then I got to run on out of here. Devin says, Navigator of the Seas had 1,700 people on last week. I would love one last hurrah with lower capacity, but we are going during Christmas, and Becky Mencken is on board, and Becky is just, those Fireball people, they just mess it up for everybody else. That's all I got to say. Chris just got off Navigator in LA. This is my favorite roller coaster cruise. I liked it better than Carnival. Well, I would hope so, man. Carnival? Come on, bro. All right, but I appreciate it, Chris. That's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to getting on Navigator as well. Brendan wants to know, if you could only go on one roller coaster ship in a year, what would you choose? Right now, Odyssey. I don't know about Wonder. Wonder is still, we have to wait and see what everything's on there. I'm sure it'll be wonderful, but I would say, I would definitely say Odyssey of the Seas. Not just because I cruise with Superstarian on board, who, by the way, Shannon does tequila shots. I'm just saying. But what's up, Superstarian? Superstarian says, what does your shirt say? It says, I love Oasis. So this shirt was given. I was on the Shakedown cruise in 2019 after Oasis had her amplification. So it was just crew members on board, and Royal Caribbean invited me to come check out the changes, and they were giving these shirts away to everybody who went on board. So it's starting to fade a little bit. You can see it right there. It's starting to fade. So I'm gonna have to make a bootleg version to have a new one. Eric Moyer in the house on Harmony right now. Thanks for all your advice, man. Have a great time, Eric, on the Harmony of the Seas, dude. That is awesome. You're gonna have an awesome time on that. Did I mention awesome? Because it definitely is awesome. Thank you for your generosity, Eric. I appreciate it. Lisa is sailing on Odyssey next month. Do we need a COVID test to return back to port, like go back into the U.S.? No. The only people that need a test to get back in the U.S., Lisa, are unvaccinated kids, but you, as an vaccinated adult, do not. Nope, you're good to go. Keith Bruce, are they still thinking about bringing back double points? Royal Caribbean said there was a Michael Bailey talked to travel agents about this in November, and he basically said that they would bring it back strategically, basically when they felt they needed to bring it back. So they didn't rule out not bringing it back, but I wouldn't bet on it, quite frankly. So Joel wants to know, can you take your Playmakers Journey where it's ordered to go and enjoy your serum? Absolutely, yes. Just let them know that. No problem at all. Thomas Russell wants to know, drink package or not? I get it, but depends how much you drink. My wife, absolutely not. She would be the first to tell you it's a waste of money because she doesn't drink enough to make it worthwhile. It's all about how you cruise, but it can save you money. I mean, it definitely saves me money. I can tell you that much. But yep. But it depends on what your personal preferences are. All right. On that note, guys, we're going to wrap things up here. I got to say some thank yous to our super chatters today. Thank you all so much for joining us here. Eric Moyer, thank you. Josh, thank you. Joe Mock, thank you. Teresa McShane, thank you. Tony Diaz, thank you. Rosalind Johnson, thank you. Bobby Meyer, thank you. David Alvarado. A lot of David Alvarado thank yous, but thank you, David Alvarado. Rory from South Carolina, thank you. Steve Cassell, thank you. Garrett Salbato, thank you. Bear Bull Cruising, thank you. Eddie Murphy, thank you. Josh Kaplan, thank you. Larry Rickman, thank you. David Alvarado, thank you. Betty Eakin, thank you. James Foskey, thank you. Teresa McShane, thank you. Ron Ladowski, thank you. Leave Me on the Ship, thank you. Michael S., thank you. David Alvarado, thank you. Jason Anquiles, thank you. David Alvarado, thank you. Jeff Leonard, thank you. Sharon Stockman, thank you. Jeff and Raju, thank you. John Gronchowski, thank you. David Alvarado again, thank you. And we have, click on the right button. We have another super chat coming in. Danny DiMatteo. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much for your generosity. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for everybody hanging out with me here tonight. Last question. I will answer this one. This is a good one. If I want to book through Becky for a cruise, how do I get in touch? All you have to do is the easiest way is go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, Gene. Big yellow form there on the homepage. Fill that out. They contact you. It's that easy. Guys, thank you again so much for joining us here. We'll be back again next week to talk more Royal Caribbean right here on next Monday. Until then, check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We have new blog posts, message boards, podcast episodes. We have an epic cruise planning for 2022 blog post. It's on the homepage right now. It is epically long, but it's epically in-depth as well to help you plan your 2022 Royal Caribbean cruise. Check that out. It's all waiting for you at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Until then, guys, have a great rest of your day. Man, I tried to click Pascal. There it is. Until then, guys, have a great rest of your week. Stay safe out there. Do something fun. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Good night, everybody.